Hey everyone, this is Jyotika and welcome to your 9th HTML5 tutorial. In my previous video, we started talking about formatting elements and we learnt about using some of them to style our text in bold and italics. So today we are going to continue learning about some more of these formatting elements. When you start developing web pages, you will often find yourselves in situations where you have a certain text like fine print that you want on the page, but it's stuff that is not really the main attraction of the page. Copyright information is one such example. We could wrap it in a paragraph element, but if we want a browser to know that this has very little prominence, it's small in its level of importance, then we can mark it up with a small element. The small element defines smaller text. It represents side comments such as small print, and by small print we mean disclaimers, legal restrictions, copyrights, or attribution for satisfying licensing requirements. The small element is only intended for short runs of text, which is not the main content of the page. So, it should not be used for extended spans of text such as multiple paragraphs, lists, or sections of text. So, on our page, we already have the copyright info in a paragraph. Now, we can go ahead and further wrap our copyright info with a small element. So, you have the outer P element and a small element inside it, and the copyright info inside the small element. Also, make sure that the closing tag of the small element is before the closing P tag. Now, if you see in the browser, the copyright has displayed in a smaller font than the other paragraphs. So by default, the small element renders text within it one font size smaller than the parent paragraph. But a thing to note here is that we don't use small because we just want to make a certain passage of text smaller. We use CSS to adjust the size of text to be of any size that we want, large or small. It is correct, however, to mark text that has a small meaning. Just like you use the strong element to mark something that has a lot of importance, you can use the small element to convey that something has very little prominence or is not the main attraction of the page. Now, if you are reading a book and you find something interesting that you want to refer to later, then what do? Usually, you highlight that portion of text with a highlighter. Wouldn't it be cool if we could do that while developing our websites too? Well, there is a way in HTML that you can highlight your text, and that's by using the mark element. The HTML mark element defines text that should be marked or highlighted. It generally indicates text which is of special interest but was not marked in the original source material or material which needs special attention even though the original author didn't think it was of particular importance. Think of this just like using a highlighter pen in a book to mark passages that you find of interest. Sometimes mark also indicates a portion of the document's content which is likely to be relevant to the user's current activity. For example, if someone searched for the word cake on a website, then the server might return the page with a paragraph modified like this. So, let me wrap the mark element around this word on our page. And in the browser you can see how it got highlighted. Again, you should not use the mark element just for presentational purposes, as using mark indicates text of special interest. For visual styling, you can use CSS. Now I have this line here which says, I like vanilla cake, but I like chocolate cake, so I want to edit this line. But I also want the future users of the website to know that I have edited the text here. So in order to do that, in HTML we have two elements, the del element and ins element. The del element defines text that has been deleted from a document, and ins element defines a text that has been inserted into a document. So let me show you how that works. I want to show that the word vanilla has been deleted. So I will put it inside the del element. Now if you see in the browser, the word vanilla is seen with a line through it. So typically text inside the del element is seen like this. Now if I wanted to insert the word chocolate on this line, then I will have to create the ins element here and add the word chocolate. So you can see how the word chocolate has now been added here with an underline. And now you can easily tell that this is deleted text and this is the newly inserted text. Now there could be times when you have to add some sort of formulae or equations on your website, like these for example. The first one says 2 square is 4 and the next one says chemical formula of water is H2O. So let me try adding those lines in my code. 2 raised to 2. Okay, so you can immediately see I have to figure out a way to write the second 2 slightly above this first 2. Otherwise, if I go ahead and write 2 like this is equals to 4, then it looks like 22 equals 4 in the browser. If I write chemical formula of water is H2O, then the H2O doesn't quite look right. The 2 here has to go down like you see in this example. So in HTML, we have 2 elements to solve these problems. They are the sup and sub elements. The sup element defines superscript text and the sub element defines subscript text. Superscript text appears half a character above the normal line and is sometimes rendered in a smaller font. Superscript text can be used for footnotes, for displaying exponents, superior lettering, which is used in some languages for rendering certain abbreviations, or even for representing ordinal numbers. Subscript text appears half a character below the normal line and is also sometimes rendered in a smaller font. Subscript text can be used for chemical formula like H2O, or even for marking up the subscript in mathematical variable numbers. So let us use the sup and sub elements to edit our lines. Since I want this 2 above the normal line, I will put it inside the sup element. And since I want this 2 in H2O below the normal line, I will put it inside the sub element. Now you can see the numbers have displayed exactly as we wanted. But an important thing to remember here is that these sup and sub elements must be used only to mark up typographical conventions with specific meanings, and not just for presentation's sake. In general, you should use these elements only if the absence of these elements would change the meaning of the content. And that's it for today. These were a few common formatting elements that I wanted to go over. Now let's quickly review. The small element represents small or fine print in a document. The mark element defines a part of text highlighted for reference purposes. The del and ins elements represent edits to the document. The sup and sub elements can help you get the details right when it comes to typography and conveying the full meaning of your content. If you would like to have the code for this entire web page, then I have put a link in the description below. So don't forget to check it out. Also, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. This is Jyotika signing off. Until next time, keep learning and keep coding.